December 21st, 1939. Dawn barely cracks the horizon over the Kollaa River, Finland, a razor-thin line of pale light in temperatures plunging to -40 degrees Celsius. The wind howls like a wounded beast through the dense pine forests, whipping snow into blinding flurries that sting exposed skin like 1,000 needles. You're there, boots crunching through the crust of frozen earth, breath fogging the air in ragged bursts. But this isn't your fight. It's the Red Army's advance, a column of Soviet infantrymen from the 56th Rifle Division trudging forward, their greatcoats heavy with frost, PPSH-41 submachine guns slung over shoulders numbed by the cold. Private Ivan Petrovich mutters to his comrade, breath visible like smoke signals in the Arctic gloom. These Finns. They're farmers with skis and rifles. We'll crush them before New Year's. Laughter ripples through the ranks, harsh and forced, echoing off the snow-laden trees. They've heard the propaganda back in Leningrad. Finland's a backwater, its army a joke. Stalin's orders are clear. Overrun the border, seize Helsinki, install a puppet regime. With over 400,000 troops against Finland's 150,000, it's a steamroller. Tanks like the T-26 rumble in the distance, their tracks grinding ice into powder, but whispers creep in, passed from century to century like a virus. Belaya Smert, they say, the White Death, a ghost in the snow picking off men without a sound. Fairy tales, scoffs Sergeant Yuri Kuznetsov, stamping his feet to ward off frostbite. To scare the new recruits, no man can vanish in this white hell. The patrol pushes deeper, visibility dropping as another squall hits. Branches creak under snow's weight, the forest alive with deceptive silence. Petrovich scans the tree line, heart pounding despite his bravado. You can almost feel it, that prickling on the back of your neck, the sense that eyes are watching from the void. Suddenly, a crack splits the air, sharp as breaking ice. Kuznetsov jerks, a red bloom erupting on his chest. He crumples without a word, face first into the drift. Panic erupts. "Sniper!" shouts a lieutenant, diving behind a fallen log. Rifles swing wildly, firing into the whiteout. But there's nothing. No muzzle flash, no silhouette, just the wind mocking them back. Word spreads like wildfire through the Soviet lines that night, huddled in makeshift dugouts where fires sputter against the relentless cold. It was him, a survivor insists, hands trembling around a tin mug of watery tea. The White Death. They say he's not human, blends with the snow, strikes from nowhere. Officers dismiss it as hysteria, but doubt creeps in. After all, the invasion started strong on November 30th, with artillery barrages shattering the Mannerheim line and bombers darkening the skies over Helsinki. Yet here, on the Kollaa front, the Finns hold. Ski troops in white camouflage, the Sisset, ambush supply lines vanishing like phantoms. And now this legend, a lone marksman racking up kills that defy belief. Enter Simo Häyhä, though the Soviets don't know his name yet. A quiet farmer from Rautjärvi, born in 1905, Häyhä had served his mandatory time in the Finnish Guard, honing his aim on moose and foxes in the endless woods. No fancy optics for him, just iron sights on his M2830 Mosin-Nagant, a civil guard rifle chambered in 7.62 53R. He preferred it that way. Scopes fogged in the cold, caught the light, forced you to raise your head higher. Häyhä kept low, stuffing snow in his mouth to hide his breath's vapor, his white snowsuit making him one with the landscape. Promoted to corporal in the 6th Company of Infantry Regiment 34 under Captain Arne Jutelainen, the terror of Morocco himself, Häyhä was no glory seeker, just a man defending his home from the red tide. As days blur into frozen nights, the kills mount. One Soviet patrol after another reports losses. A machine gunner felled mid-setup, an officer crumpling while barking orders. By mid-December, Häyhä's tally hits dozens, each shot precise from 150 meters or more, often in near darkness where daylight lasts barely 5 hours. The Red Army's arrogance begins to crack. How can one man do this? A captured prisoner blurts during interrogation, eyes wide with fear. Finnish morale soars. Songs whispered around campfires hail the White Death as a guardian spirit. But the Soviets aren't idle. Commissars rally the troops with speeches of proletarian victory, while spotters scan the horizon for any sign. Artillery batteries, 122 mm howitzers, prepare to rain hell on suspected positions. Yet Häyhä moves like smoke, repositioning after every shot, leaving no tracks in the powder snow. The mockery turns inward. If he's a ghost, why do our bullets miss? One soldier jokes bitterly, unaware that the real hunt is just beginning. And then, as January's blizzards rage fiercer, the tally climbs into the hundreds. Whispers become orders. Find him, kill him. But how do you hunt a shadow in a world of white? The answer eludes them at first, buried under layers of snow and Soviet doctrine. As February 1940 dawns with unrelenting ferocity, the Kollaa front transforms into a labyrinth of death. Häyhä's routine is mechanical, almost meditative. Rise before light, melt snow for water in his mouth to avoid steam, then slip into position. A shallow depression scooped in the drift, rifle cradled like an extension of his arm. No scope means no glint, no giveaway. He waits, patient as the pines, for the Red Army's predictable patrols. A commissar rallying troops with a raised fist, crack, gone. A spotter peering through binoculars, crack. Another tally. By now, Häyhä's count pushes past 200, each kill verified by his unit's observers to quash any doubt. Finnish newspapers, censored but spirited, leak hints of the magic shooter, boosting civilian resolve back in Helsinki, where air raid sirens wail nightly. Captain Juutilainen, with his French Foreign Legion scars and unyielding gaze, nods approval during briefings in log-reinforced bunkers. "Keep them guessing, Simo," he grunts, exhaling cigarette smoke that curls like frost. Häyhä says little, his face weathered beyond his 34 years, blue eyes sharp under a fur cap. He's not in it for fame. The Soviets torched his farmstead in the opening days. This is payback, one bullet at a time. Across the lines, the mockery sours into obsession. General Vasily Chuikov, future hero of Stalingrad, demands results from his divisional snipers. "Find this phantom," he barks over crackling field phones, his breath fogging the map table in a commandeered farmhouse. They deploy their elite, marksmen from the Siberian steppes, armed with scoped SVT-40 semi-automatics, trained to spot anomalies in the snow. A boot print, a disturbed branch. White camouflage becomes mandatory. Greatcoats reversed to blend with the terrain. Patrols move in staggered formations, using the forest's cover to flank suspected nests. You can picture it, a Soviet sniper team, led by Corporal Nikolai Ilyin, crawling inch by inch through the underbrush, fingers numb on triggers. The air tastes metallic, laced with gunpowder and pine sap. They scan for Häyhä's tells, but he leaves none. Instead, it's Ilyin who exposes a fraction too much, his scope lens catching a fleeting ray of winter sun. Crack. The team scatters, dragging their fallen leader, hearts hammering. "He's everywhere," one gasps later, bandaging wounds by lantern light. The reversal grips the ranks. What started as disdain for a peasant ghost morphs into dread. Soldiers refuse night watches, muttering prayers forbidden by the party. Desertions spike, frostbite claims more, but it's the unseen bullet that haunts their dreams. Häyhä adapts seamlessly. He shifts tactics, targeting artillery spotters to blind the big guns, or picking off messengers to disrupt commands. One day, he downs 40 in a single outing, a record that spreads like legend among the Finns. His weapon, that trusty Mosin-Nagant, is modified subtly, a custom stock for better grip in gloves, ammunition hand-loaded for consistency, No bayonet, too cumbersome. He eats sparingly, wild berries frozen solid to stay light and silent. Companions in the 6th Company marvel at his calm. While they shiver in foxholes, Häyhä seems part of the winter itself. The Soviets escalate. Armored units, KV-1 heavies with 76mm cannons, probe the lines, but bog down in drifts, easy prey for Finnish satchel charges. Then come the airstrikes. Polikarpov, Tritron-16 fighters strafe the woods, bombs cratering the snow in futile patterns. Häyhä hunkers down, emerging unscathed to resume his vigil. By late February, his tally nears 400, forcing Stalin himself to take note in Moscow's Kremlin halls. Reinforcements pour in, the 163rd Division, fresh and furious, but Kollaa holds a 40-kilometer stretch of hell where the Finns' Motti tactics encircle and annihilate pockets of invaders. Fear breeds innovation on the red side. They seed decoys, mannequins in uniforms propped in the open, drawing fire to reveal positions. Counter-snipers pair with mortarmen, lobbing 82mm rounds at any suspicious mound. One barrage nearly gets him. Shrapnel whistles past Häyhä's ear, but he rolls away, vanishing deeper. The Finns counter with their own ploys, false trails in the snow, diversionary shots from multiple angles. Utilainen's men become ghosts too, their white suits smeared with birch ash for better concealment. As March approaches, with peace talks simmering in neutral Sweden, the pressure mounts. Häyhä's legend swells. 500 kills, they say, though he never boasts. Soviets offer bounties, 50,000 rubles, a colonel's rank for his head. Whispers in the trenches turn desperate. Is he invincible? But even shadows have limits, and one fateful morning, the hunt closes in with explosive force. March 6, 1940. The pale sun hangs low over the Kollaa River, casting long shadows across the battered landscape where snowdrifts hide the scars of endless barrages. Häyhä eases into his perch, a natural hollow amid uprooted stumps, his breath controlled, rifle steady against his shoulder. The air crackles with tension. Soviet artillery has been sporadic, but today it feels different, heavier, as if the forest itself holds its breath. You can sense it. The crunch of enemy boots approaching, muffled voices in Russian carrying on the wind, a platoon from the 7th Army pushing to break the Finnish hold once and for all. Häyhä spots them first, a cluster of figures in white moving cautiously, led by a lieutenant gesturing with a Nagant revolver. His finger tightens on the trigger. Crack! The officer drops, clutching his throat. Chaos erupts below. Shouts, return fire spraying wildly into the trees. Häyhä shifts slightly, lining up another, a machine gunner fumbling with a DP-28. Crack, down. But the Soviets have learned they're closing the net. A spotter radios coordinates, and the response is swift. 122mm shells whistle overhead, slamming into the ridgeline with earth-shaking roars. Dirt and snow fountain up, peppering Häyhä's position. He doesn't flinch. Reloading with practiced calm, he picks off 2 more stragglers darting for cover. His tally for the day already at 7, pushing his total beyond 500, a number that would stagger historians later, confirmed through Finnish logs and Soviet admissions. But glory means nothing here. Survival does. The barrage intensifies, mortars joining the symphony of destruction. One round lands close, too close. The blast wave hurls Häyhä sideways, ears ringing, vision blurring. He shakes it off, crawling to a new spot, but the enemy presses on, emboldened by the fire support. Enter the fateful shot. From a concealed foxhole 200 meters distant, a Soviet rifleman, perhaps one of the elite snipers tasked with his elimination, catches a glimpse, a faint outline against the white. He fires not with a standard round, but an explosive bullet, illegal under the Hague Conventions, but whispered to be in Red Army arsenals for special targets. The projectile strikes Häyhä's lower left jaw, detonating on impact. Pain explodes like a grenade in his skull. Flesh tears, bone shatters, blood sprays across the snow in a crimson arc. He reels, rifle clattering, but instinct kicks in. He fires back blindly, dropping his assailant before collapsing. Finnish comrades, hearing the distinctive crack, rush forward under covering fire from Suomi KP-31 submachine guns. Private Aino Kinnunen reaches him first, horrified by the sight. Häyhä's face a mangled ruin, jaw hanging by threads, yet his eyes fierce, alive. "Get me out!" he mumbles through the gore, refusing to scream. They drag him back through the drifts, medics applying hasty bandages amid the ongoing skirmish. Evacuated on a sled pulled by reindeer, standard in these trackless wilds, Häyhä slips into unconsciousness as the front fades behind. Word races through the lines like a blizzard. For the Finns, it's a gut punch. Their invincible white death, felled at last. Captain Jutalainen rallies his men in the bunker, voice steady but eyes hard. "He took 500 with him. Now we finish it." Morale dips, then surges with vengeance. Ambushes intensify. Motti encirclements trap more Soviet units in killing zones. On the red side, jubilation mixes with relief. "The ghost is gone," a commissar proclaims over loudspeakers, urging a final push. But the cost is staggering. Over 200,000 Soviet casualties in the Winter War against Finland's 25,000, a testament to Häyhä's impact and the nation's grit. Häyhä awakens days later in a field hospital near Viipuri, surgeons piecing together his face with wires and grafts. The pain is unrelenting, morphine a distant ally, but he endures, whispering tallies to nurses who stare in awe. Peace looms. The Moscow Peace Treaty, signed on March 13th, ceding territory but preserving Finnish independence. Stalin's gamble fails. The Red Army's weaknesses exposed for Hitler to note. Yet as Häyhä heals, his legend only grows, transcending the frozen front. Whispers in global press hail him as the deadliest sniper in history, a symbol of defiance against tyranny. But what of the man behind the myth and the unbreakable spirit that turned mockery to defeat? Discharged from the hospital in April 1940, Häyhä emerges into a Finland forever changed, the treaty's bitter terms carving away Karelia, but leaving sovereignty intact. His face, reconstructed through grueling surgeries, bears a permanent scar, a jagged reminder of that explosive round, yet his step is steady as he returns to Rautjärvi's quiet fields. No parades greet him. The war's end is somber, with rationed bread and rebuilding ahead. But in whispered conversations over flickering oil lamps, his name becomes synonymous with Sisu, that Finnish essence of stoic perseverance. Promoted to second lieutenant by Field Marshal Carl Gustaf Emil Mannerheim himself, Häyhä accepts the honor quietly, stowing his Cross of Liberty in a drawer alongside his rifle. The man behind the myth is unassuming, almost elusive. Born to a farming family, Häyhä had always preferred solitude, hunting in the woods, competing in ski races where endurance trumped speed. Post-war, he resumes that life, tending crops and livestock, dodging journalists who track him down. "I did what I had to," he tells one persistent reporter in 1945, his voice soft but firm, jaw clicking slightly from the old wound. No bitterness toward the Soviets, just a quiet reflection on duty. He lives modestly, never marrying, finding companionship in dogs and the forest that once shielded him. You can imagine him there, leaning on a fence at dusk, the northern lights dancing overhead, pondering the ghosts of Kollaa. Yet the legend refuses to fade. In Soviet archives, declassified years later, reports detail the White Death's psychological toll. Divisions paralyzed, offensives stalled by the fear of one man. Stalin's purges follow, scapegoating commanders for the debacle. But Häyhä's shadow lingers in Red Army lore, a cautionary tale taught in sniper schools from Moscow to Vladivostok. Across the Atlantic, American GIs in World War II hear echoes of his feats. inspiring their own marksmen in Normandy's hedgerows or Iwo Jima's volcanic ash. Books emerge. The White Death in Finnish presses, then translations spreading globally, cementing his 505 confirmed kills, plus hundreds more with submachine guns, as the highest in any major conflict. The reversal completes its arc. What began as Red Army laughter at a ghost story evolves into profound respect, even awe. Finnish schools teach his story as emblem of resistance, while international historians debate his tactics, the iron sights for concealment, the snow-in-mouth trick to mask exhales, the rapid repositioning that turned forests into fortresses. In 1998, at age 92, Häyhä grants a rare interview, eyes twinkling as he recounts downing a counter-sniper at 400 meters. Luck played a part, he admits humbly, but those who knew him scoff. It was skill, forged in Finland's harsh cradle. Häyhä passes in 2002, at 96, buried with honors in Ruokolahti Cemetery, his gravestone simple amid pines whispering eternal watch. But his spirit endures, a beacon for underdogs everywhere. From Ukraine's trenches to distant conflicts, snipers invoke his name, embodying that unbreakable will. The Soviets' arrogance, shattered in snow-swept wilds, yields to history's verdict. One man's rifle humbled an empire, turning mockery into myth, defeat into defiance that echoes through the ages.